How you doing? My name's Mercy. I am a potter. Been a potter for quite some time, over 20 years, and mostly been doing historical pots. A lot of research on that. I've been wanting to create a blog for quite some time. I'm not really one to show my face and share like this. Definitely is a learning experience, and I'm hoping that these vlogs will help me with my presentation skills and talking more and sharing my love of historical ceramics as well as just crazy ceramic stuff that I do. So a little bit more about myself. Probably the first 15, 20 years of my pottery experience has been mostly recreating pre-17th century ceramics. And you'd think, gee, that's pretty niche. It's kind of weird. Well, yeah, I would say that I am pretty weird. Um, History has always been something I've been interested in. Um, my father had a great interest in history, and I was pretty much brought up with his excitement over history, and kind of got a little touches here and there, especially when I think I was like, I don't know, 7 or 8 when I saw I Claudius. Kind of dates me, but that's when my love of Rome kind of hit. I actually started doing ceramics um, kind of later in life. Most of my friends that are other potters in my historical society that I'm in started when they were in high school or earlier. And I actually started ceramics like, I think it was around 25 or so. Um, I went back to school to learn life drawing. I actually was focusing on my two-dimensional art that I've been actually sketching pretty much all my life, cartoons and so forth. Wanted to improve that, wanted to be a children's illustrator, and came across the ceramics class on a break. I was down the hallway from my life drawing class, and they looked like they were having a lot of fun. I really wanted to be a kind of like, maybe let's take a look at this ceramic stuff, maybe be a sculptor and continue to do my 2D art. And I decided to do the one class, and I found the wheel that first semester, and I pretty much never looked back. Fortunately or unfortunately, I have put in my two-dimensional painting experience into my work in the past, kind of putting it in a little bit now. Um, I've done a lot of different types of techniques, and that's kind of one of the cool things about when you're researching how pots were made, um, looking at different cultures, different parts of the world, different years, their materials that they were using, how they fired everything, how they decorated, how they used clay, has always been a big learning experience. Um, I kind of have gravitated mostly to German proto stoneware, but I guess that's where I've fallen into. I guess probably the latter part of my historical ceramics career. But I've also done Roman Samian ware, and I've done Maiolica, mostly the simpler Maiolica, not the super ornate ones, but done a lot of like the 12th, 13th century type of Maiolica decoration and pots. English medieval pottery, I've done a lot of that, as well as Byzantine sgraffito ware, and just like Iranian Persian wares, footwear, uh, just you name it. I pretty much have either read an article, seen a picture, or actually recreated them. So then I got to a point where I wanted to find my own voice. Who am I other than doing all these copies? Now, my copies aren't perfect exact copies, because I find doing the same thing over and over again pretty boring. And but I'm sure my work had its own flavor, its own its own point of view, but unfortunately, I just didn't see it. And so I've been the last three to 4 years, maybe 5 years, really kind of doing my own thing, trying to find my voice and create new work um, that harkens back to all of the techniques and all of the things that I'm interested in, trying to compact that into my newer work. So, which has been a real challenge to do that. And for me, I actually have a teacher. Um, I'm part of Lisa Orr's uh, collective, part of a thing called Clay Cohorts through Simon Levin. But I'm mostly connected to Lisa through this cooperative that was created by Simon, bringing in different teachers, and Lisa's been great. She has a lot of the same excitement about history, and a lot of the techniques that she's done are either similar to things I've done, especially the sprig molding and her slipware, her slip decorations. So, but she's been able to like take all this information and all this history and create her own pieces and lines. And that's where I'm actually trying to go, is trying to figure out what my stuff should be, and how to do it. Just trying to figure out, it's kind of a big picture for me actually. So, which has been very difficult actually for me, because I have to like pick. I'm more of a person that loves everything, unfortunately. I'm excited about all years, all cultures, even more modern pieces, and vintage work in the US, and just I love everything. So it makes it super hard just to pick certain techniques and certain things to make. Um, and I'm trying to find things that don't take hundreds of hours, that I enjoy making. Um, I don't technically need to sell my work. At least that's what I'm telling myself. My entire career has been focusing on making things, um, so that I improve my work, and then unfortunately I have to sell, get rid of it somehow. So for a while I was giving a lot of my work, a lot of my test pieces, to my historical society, and they were handing them out quite a bit, and I was selling a little bit here and there, not too much, because I have a full-time job. Pottery's always been pretty much a secondary hobby. So I've been really mostly trying to figure out what I want to do, what I want to leave behind, and try to bring in sculpture and glazing, colors, and a lot of the other techniques I've done to create my own little work. So I'm so that's kind of me, in in a nutshell. And I'm hoping that this blog kind of helps me kind of figure this out, because me picking just one thing to do, there's just too many choices, and that normally will make me freeze and not do anything, or fall back on things that I'm comfortable doing, which that's not the point, at least for what I want to do. with future work. So, so this you'll hopefully see more of my pots. I do a lot of throwing. I do hand building as well, and sculpture. And I'm really trying to do more sculpture, more wall pieces, kind of like a focus for 2024. I actually am trying to do some pitches to some galleries here in where I live in Los Angeles, and just have a body of work that I could show and that I would be proud of sharing with other people. So that is what that whole thing is all about. I do a lot of recordings, so this is going to be a mix. I'm not sure how often I'll be posting these video logs, but I will be showing real time a lot of the items that I'm working on. On Instagram, I have an Instagram account I've been running, and a lot of those I will speed up because Instagram doesn't really want to show anything over 7 seconds. So so hopefully these videos will be a little bit more in depth of techniques I'm doing and ideas, working out both the failures, which I'm sure there'll be a lot, and items that I love. Hopefully I'll be able to share that and my journey, basically my clay journey for 2024. And so that's all for me right now. I'm going to be adding in here some kiln openings, maybe some handwork, some projects that I was working on. I'll try to figure out all this video editing and talking over the videos. It's all a learning process. Hopefully you'll have fun following along. So if you're interested in clay and clay artists and journeys of finding someone's voice, please hit the subscribe, follow along. Always open to answering questions. If you're working on things I'd love to see and connect with other potters, because that's another issue I personally have, is finding other potters that just want to talk, that are, maybe they're new, maybe they've been around the block a few times, but they may want to bounce ideas off, because it's very hard to create in a vacuum. So I'm hoping also that these kind of videos will connect me with other people with similar interests, similar goals, and all that kind of good stuff. So anyhow, thanks for watching, and I'll be shuffling in. Take it easy.